What is up, guys, and welcome back to Gran Turismo 7, and today we're covering the last car from the 1.55 update, and this one's the one that probably kind of bewildered me the most, and Gran Turismo has a history of doing this, and this is just putting the weirdest cars into this game, and ironically enough, they're all Toyotas. As you guys saw, we've gotten the Toyota Hiace, I believe it's called, which is like an ambulance. The High Medic is what we got, which is already weird. The Hiace is in the game. Another weird choice. We'll talk about that one in a moment. But we also have, like, the Crown kind of makes sense, but the Alfred. Why are these three cars in here? But today we're talking about the next weirdest introduction of this game, the Toyota CHR. Now, these cars are very popular here in the US because they're very affordable and they're pretty solid little cars. I'm not crazy about the transmission choice, but I do generally like them in terms of an economy daily driver type thing. And ironically enough, my fiance is in the market for one of these. She really wants one of these, so I'm excited to hopefully see what this thing can do in a sense of motorsport. So I don't really know what color she would pick if she were here. But we're going to go with a color I would choose, which is the blue with the blue roof. I don't think I'd do the white roof on this car. 26,000 credit starting price, not bad. Now, this is a hybrid. This is not the standard. I think it's like a 2-liter these things come with, standard. So we're going to see how this goes. Now, the CHR, much like the Ioniq 5N that we did a video on a couple of videos ago now, they have a fake transmission. And by that, I mean the CHR has a CVT transmission that pretends to be an 8-speed automatic under normal circumstances. But when you merge on the interstate, you go full throttle. For any reason, it immediately goes back to normal CVT shenanigans. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen here. Is the car going to pretend to be an 8-speed? Or is it going to be like the Ioniq 5N was, where it just flat out single gear transmission? Let's find out. Survey says it is pretending to be 1 gear. So let's see what she does around Dragon Trail Gardens. Gosh, the CVT sucks. It drives like that Toyota Aqua, TBH. Like, just a slower Toyota Aqua, honestly. Holy understeer. Of course, it's kind of my fault. I was watching the gauge cluster more than I was watching the road there. I feel like I need to start rowing this thing like a boat. I do not like how the mirror looks. It definitely looks like a screen. It definitely doesn't have that mirror look. See, I keep reaching for the paddles like it's going to do something. Come on. The interior is nice. I will say that. The interior is really nice in this car. It definitely, it definitely looks like an old, like not old, but a fairly newish Toyota. But honestly, like, I like the corner dynamics more than the Ioniq 5N. Again, I don't know why that car just did not do it for me. It's just not as understeery, and I don't know what exactly about the Ioniq 5N made it so understeery. Maybe because this thing's lighter, because I think this is significantly lighter than the Ioniq 5N is, but it's definitely slow. It is definitely significantly slower than the Ioniq 5N, and the brakes are actually a lot better in standard form. It feels about the same as the Ioniq 5N with the racing pads. That car just really didn't do it for me. I was very unimpressed with it, if you can't tell. Not that I'm impressed with the CHR, but it's so slow. This is probably going to take the crown away from the Civic as the slowest car to be tested out here. 120 kilometers. 130 kph. I don't know what that is in American. I'm American. I don't know what a kilometer is. Oh boy, come on. I'm curious what in the world this car is going to be like fully built. Come on, let's go. This thing is genuinely slow. And there's 2 minutes. I think in just about a couple seconds, it will be the slowest car I've ever tested here. Oh my goodness, it's so slow. Any minute now. Little horn. All right, that's that. That was weak. That was weak sauce. That was unimpressive. Let's see. Launch it. Has so much get up until about 60 kilometers, and then it just seems like it wants to die off. Let's take a look at the interior real quick, though. So in here, obviously, you got your shifter. I hope they really don't look that dinky in real life. Guess I'll know whenever me and my fiance go to the dealership to try one out. Fairly spacious, though, I would say. I mean, this is a solid daily driver. I do not know why they put this in a racing game. So 2:17.3, I believe that is now the slowest car to ever lap this track with me in it. And it is by about 5 seconds. So, yeah, definitely got some work to do with this thing. But I think it's doable. I think it's doable. We can save this one. We can save this car. All right, first thing I want to see, there were a lot of rumors about engine swaps with this car, and there is not one. Dang, I was really hoping they'd find some way to salvage this thing, because it's just, oh man, that power needs some work. So, car weighs 3,100 pounds. It's only mildly heavier than my Mark 7 GTI, by about 200 pounds. So, I say mildly, it is a decent bit of a gap there, but we're just going to mess with it. Obviously, we can bore the engine out. I don't think we'll be able to turbo this thing. Yeah, I figured. So this engine is going to be all motor, it looks like, and it's going to be a fairly okay all motor setup. I really wish we could ditch the CVT, because I think that would help this car out a lot. We are going to do all the weight reduction. This car is going to be fully built. I just want to see what this thing would be like, fully done up, ready to like full race kit. Does not appear the aerodynamic efficiency is going to be really helped here. So we're going to stroke this engine up. It's going to be almost a 1.9 liter engine. I don't know, is there any extreme upgrades? There is. Titanium connecting rods. Okay, did not expect that to be an option for this engine. Alright, racing exhaust. This thing's gonna sound terrible, but it's okay. For science, we're trying to see what this thing can do. I'm gonna do the slotted brake kit. I usually don't bother with, like, some of the stuff. Alright, racing clutch and fly. I don't know what that's gonna do here, but we're just gonna do it just for science. And then we're going to throw the racing soft tires on it. It looks like that is about it, what we're going to be able to do with this car. We're going to put wheels on it just for kicks and gigs. I think this thing needs some un-NPC-ifying, I guess. Let's see, what's like TEs maybe? Let's do TE 37s on it. We'll do 19-inch TE 37s. I think this just, I don't know, it kind of works. It kind of works, honestly. I can kind of get down with this. Let's see, is there any upgrade? We could put a splitter on this thing. That is nuts. Okay, take the hybrid badge off of it. Why not? We'll just make it all race car. Let's have some fun with this thing. This is so interesting. They've added all this random stuff to this car. Let's see if there's a wing. Oh my goodness, a wing. We've made a time attack CHR, boys and girls. Oh my god, there's a roll cage option. Why did they add this stuff? Why is there a roll cage option? That is ridiculous. What is this? 2,400 pounds though. It is on track to be a fairly fast car on track. Shame it's a hybrid though. Shame it's a CVT car, because it looks silly. But I like that they went for it. They went for the crazy factor. They went with adding all the nonsensical aero to this car. They went with adding a giant time attack splitter and a giant time attack wing, a roll cage option in this car. I expected it to just be some wheels, maybe debadge it, call it a day. No, they were like, you can build a time attack hybrid crossover in this game. A giant fat Prius with a body kit on it. Like, that is just bonkers. That is just unreal. I think now I need to wide body the thing just to freaking add to it. You know, like, why not just polish this turret a little bit more? We'll put wide body on it. It's a 10,000 credit wide body, and it does indeed help the performance point options a little bit there. But it looks like it takes away all my stuff. Ah, screw it. We're polishing this turd. We'll throw everything back on. It probably costs us more money again, but I don't care. It looks ridiculous. Who would have imagined a crossover, a hybrid crossover at that coming into this game, and then just being the most radical, stupid thing in the game? Do I need to change the wheels up again? I think I do need to update the wheels. Because now that we've got the wide body, I think I'm actually going to bump it to the 20-inch on this car. Alright, let's go ahead and re-add everything. I'm going to have to buy it all again, which is kind of lame. But we'll have it looking stupid again in a moment. Didn't have to buy the wing a second time. Instead of to buy everything else. Now we're really max stupid. 542 performance points. All right, let's go take this on track. I'm genuinely curious what this car is going to drive like now. It doesn't weigh a lot. It doesn't make a ton of power, but I feel like, it makes, it's lighter than some of the early 2000s Civic SIs with the EP3 and stuff, and it makes just a tiny bit less power. So I'm genuinely curious how this thing is going to drive, because it just looks so stupid. Alright, off to Dragon Trail, off to Gardens, reverse once more. Let's see what this thing does. I'm bewildered, guys. This is just weird. That CVT scream. Alright, I do not think this car is going to touch the 1200s. I mean, maybe the 6th place car. It is not going to beat the Civic, though. The Civic was so fast around here, this car doesn't make enough power and doesn't weigh as little. Alright, let's see what it does. Track-built CHR. Still slow as dirt. It's better, though. Okay, the fact that I had to actually hit the brakes in that corner. This is so radical. Like, this is so dumb. It actually grips really well, though, I will say. It actually is a solid car, aside from this really ear-piercing hum in my ear. 180 kph. We have peaked out. We have ran the needle to the other side of the speedometer on that straightaway. Keep on, I don't know what 180 kilometers turns into. You can actually hear the engine idling, which is kind of cool. Put our foot in it a little bit. Let's see what this little thing can do. It's still so slow, but it's got character now. That makes it unique and just interesting. The turn-in is great. Believe I'll talk about this thing at the end of the video, kind of give my overall thoughts, but I am genuinely surprised at how good it handles. It is slow and the noise is annoying, but boy is it actually kind of rewarding to drive. Now granted, I equate a lot of that to its weight. I mean, it weighs 2,400 pounds now. I do not understand why this is actually more fun than I thought it would be. The CVT is annoying. I do wish that it had a normal transmission. The engine just shut off. The engine shut off. Can't hear the horn now. I mean, it's still slow. Don't get me wrong. It is still a very slow car, but it's fun slow. Because this car is so just ridiculous. A racing built CHR. Who would have thought it? Oh, over the curbs. Around the last corner. I can keep my foot in it. I don't have to slow down. Oh gosh, this is actually scarily close to the Civic. Okay, it's about 3-4 seconds, 5 seconds slower. 5-second difference between this and a 300 horsepower Civic. It's pretty nuts. Yeah, I want to see what this interior looks like with this cage in it. Yeah, it looks about as stupid as I thought it would. You can see kind of part of the spoiler, that big wing on the back of this thing. Let's see where it wound up in the leaderboard. I think obviously it beat the second Volkswagen Beetle, the 159 car. It looks so ridiculous. Just look at this. What in the world is this, guys? Alright, so it definitely took that 6th place spot away from the Beetle there. Alright, it's time to rate this thing. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Not for any reason. I know that's the same rating I gave the Civic. but I think the wild factor carries it. And I think that's why I have to give this thing a positive review, like a fairly positive review. It's dumb. But as dumb as it is, I was very impressed with the handling after building it. The car grips surprisingly well. And again, I hate to say this because it sounds dumb, but this CHR fully built drives better than the Ioniq 5N did fully built. The brakes actually work. The car doesn't understeer into oblivion. It is slow as dirt, don't get me wrong. And I think a lot of the Ioniq 5's handling quirks are probably related to the fact that it's making 640 horsepower the moment your foot even touches the gas pedal. But the CHR, oddly enough, is a bit of a sleeper. It is slow as dirt. Don't use this in drag lobbies. But for like a low power 550 performance point or lower event, I wouldn't be surprised to see this thing possibly charging for podiums at that power performance point level. It was surprisingly easy to drive and pretty rewarding once it was built. When it was stock, I mean, it was bland. But once you build it and you have a little bit of fun with it, you just kind of get the crazy factor of it, just how dumb it looks, how dumb it just drives. It's actually kind of fun, and that's why I gave it a 6 out of 10. It's that kind of weird fun, like not fun like you expect it to be. It's fun because it's unexpected to be as good as it is. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna wrap this one up here. I know this thing was wild, but it was a really fun video to make. Thank you all so much, and I'll see you guys next time.